All right, it is Thursday, April 9th, 2026. So, S&P was up for a seventh consecutive day. Did open a little bit red. You can actually note that today's candle was a floor, little spike from the 50-day. So today was the second day above the 50-day. I would also note on the flip side, today's candle was a little bit spiky from the upper Bollinger. Now, having filled these two gaps, I would be concerned that there's this big giant orange gap. That would be a natural target. My target is some cooling to the 200-day, which is currently 66.59. So I wouldn't feel just a little bit of basic cooling across the next day or two. Just come back down here. That's nothing. That would just be a I don't know, 38 to 50% retrace of this. And we can go up every day. I mean, 7 days up, would you at least a day or two of cooling in theory. So again, on a momentum scale, we're on the high end. There's no question about that. We're way high now. I mean, we were massively low. Now we're really on the high end. Clearly, no sign of a turn. Even if tomorrow is down, momentum might still be ticking upwards. But anyway, yeah, I think we're going to come back down to the 200-day. That would be a natural basic target. Anything else? VIX, I guess, noteworthy. VIX is back under the 20 threshold for the first time. Actually, that is the first daily close under the 20 threshold since late February. We didn't have one single close under the 20 threshold in March. And I would accept that's not a great close for the equity bears. Zero sign of a turn. I would say that actually I didn't note it. I should have done, but I overlooked this. Yesterday's candle was a reversal, and that did briefly play out because we were down early morning. And today's candle was bearish engulfing, which is bearish VIX and short-term bullish equities. They usually play out at least a little bit. I mean, you see that one here played out. We were fractionally down, but anyway, momentum's on the low end. No sign of a turn though. All right, let's jump to some stocks. Apple up 0.5%, challenging the 50-day. I'm gonna fly through some of these. I would note that there were a lot of black candles yesterday, and most of them did play out. I will say that we have another black candle for Agnico. First Majestic Silver had a bearish engulfing candle yesterday. That played out, down 1.5%. Broader structure is a multi-week bear flag. AMD 2%, no sign of a turn there. Amazon 5%. I need to adjust that. Green gap has been fully filled. That's done. You think what's left? Nothing really until 247. We do have a downside gap from yesterday. I guess I'll add that another day. I'm doing it now. American Express had a black candle yesterday and it settled up 0.4. So it did play out initially. A lot of resistance here in many of the financials around this kind of with this kind of setup. This is definitely one stock that the bears need to see take out 290, which of course is $27 down. That's about 9%. Barrack had a black candle yesterday. That played out. A lot of stocks look like this, intersecting 200-day, 50-day. Bank of America probably has earnings next week, I'm guessing. BlackRock was up 8 cents, so today's candle is spiky from key price threshold. But it's a lot of chop. I will note that despite the fact it was up a touch, still closed below yesterday's high. Blackstone, very similar, slightly more bearish. Again, note yesterday's candle was a spiky from the 50-day. Caterpillar. That's almost, actually, I didn't even notice. That is a new historic high in Caterpillar, 795. Wow. Well, that's one bullish stock for the Dow and the main market. Kamiko, chop. Carnival down 0.5%. Again, black candle yesterday from the 50-day and 200-day. Yeah, the shoe companies were up today quite a bit. Again, another minor where the black candle played out yesterday. Ford challenging the 200-day. Google up 0.4%, holding under yesterday's high. Home Depot up 1%. That is a bullish engulfing candle. That does bode for a little bit of, more upside on Friday. Heckler, yesterday's black candle played out. Intel, this is lunacy. Intel is up about 53% across the last 8 days. 53% across 8 days. I guess 7 if you want to start the clock from around 42, but my God, this is madness. This is sheer lunacy. And what the hell is this going up for this way? 53%. I mean, we saw it here. December 34 to 54. Now we've gone from 40 to 62. Madness. JP Morgan earnings next Tuesday. KKR settled down 1.2%. Again, I will note, you can barely see it on here, but yesterday's candle was black doji having stalled at triple resistance of green gap, bear flag upper side, and the 50-day. So down 1.2% today. The lower end of a trend as of tomorrow will be around 80, I'll call it 89 and a quarter. So that's $3.50 down ish. $3.50 is about 3.5. Yeah, there's 3.5 to 4% downside viable there tomorrow. I am short as of this afternoon. Could have shorted it yesterday morning. I literally was talking in a live space when it was 96. Didn't do it. But hey, the issue for me is this is a big bear flag. Again, to really, to break it, you want to see under the recent 88s, and to fully confirm it, you need to go under 82. But yeah, this is a bear flag. If this is going to play out, we really need to hold under. We need to start breaking down tomorrow or Monday. And yeah, cyclically, we're on the higher end. So the setup is there. Moving on. A lot of these things I just don't care for. Microsoft down 0.3. Yesterday's black candle played out. Again, lousy performance to the main market. Micron up 3.5% on hysteria. Netflix up 2.7. Yesterday's black candle did initially play out. It was briefly red in the morning, I think. Nike catching a bounce, but again, this is horrible. Something good there. Nvidia up 1%, notably holding under yesterday's high. Ondas just down 3%. Yesterday, Oxygen was down 2%, but it was initially up. So yesterday's reversal candle did initially play out. Pan American Silver down. Yesterday's black candle played out. Palantir, horrible. This did deserve extra attention yesterday. Bearish engulfing candle played out. Settled down 7%, 130s. Can't expect the 126s to hold. Target is 100. You got to think, if the main market is just bouncing, then Palantir might be 100 either by the end of the month or early May. So yeah, watch tomorrow. If the main market gaps down in the morning for whatever reason, or maybe Monday, Tuesday, look for 126. If you see 126, anything in the 125s or lower, there's nothing. It's an air pocket to 100. Don't care about PayPal. Red Cat down 8.5%. That's nasty. Rocket Lab down 3.3%. Yesterday's black candle from the 50-day. Look at the 50-day. Look at how the stock has been stalling repeatedly at the 50-day. Now the issue is, do we close under the 200-day within not tomorrow, but maybe next week? And if we do, man, there's nothing until around 40 bucks slash 37. Bearish Rocket Lab. SMR down 5%. Terrible. Target holding up 0.7. For Tesla, up 0.7, but again, it's not great, right? There's nothing good here. Bearish. Don't care about that. Okay, United Airlines was up 1.4%. Yesterday's black candle from quadruple resistance, a green gap, the 200-day, the 50-day, and the upper side of what, in my view, is a bear flag highlighted in pink. So black candle, we were down like 2% in the morning. Of course, I was watching this because I wanted to short it. And I'm like, I can't be shorting when it was down 2%. So I waited all the way into the afternoon and I shorted it from when the stock was up 1.8. So it's 97.67. We have a downside gap to around 90/89. I would like to see it tomorrow at least down to the 10 MA. Let's call it 92. That's $5 down. That's doable. We could do that tomorrow morning. It's possible. Of course, to confirm the bear flag, we need to go under 84s. It won't be easy, but I do think we're going to go down to 70. Whether that's end of month or May, I don't know. But in theory, structure is a bearish flag with a nice, beautiful black candle at quadruple resistance. Bearish the airlines. Of course, higher oil would help pressure the airlines down tomorrow. United Health is distinctly stuck. The big money will just be getting out. Exxon, again, much like Occidental, initial upside, reversing down. Let's have a quick look at gold, silver. Yesterday's candle was black. It didn't play out. Closed up 0.8%. Broader structure is arguably a multi-week bear flag. Silver, much like gold, black candle did not play out. Multi-week structure is a bear flag, bearish. And let's take a final look at oil. So commodity oil was officially at $4.31, 4.5% to 98.72. Today's candle is spiky from the 10 of May. Momentum is showing no sign of a floor. I would say the lower Bollinger is 85. Of course, that's going up, so that'll be around 90 bucks next week. For now, it's a case of higher highs, higher lows. The big level, of course, to take out is 119. I think that's just a matter of when, not if. Let's look at USO, starting with the daily. So yesterday's reversal candle played out. USO settled at 1.9%, 126.96, but it's below the open. So it's actually a black doji candle, which leans bearish for early Friday. So don't be surprised if it's down a little bit early Friday. I would say if it opens up tomorrow, I mean, most bullish case tomorrow would be to get to tag the gap around what's the gap? 138. So the most bullish case would be a jump to 138 tomorrow. I don't think that's possible. But maybe 135, maybe. But anyway, technically a black candle, so that's bearish for Friday morning. And momentum is showing no sign of a turn. What should we end with? Oh, maybe just end with a weekly chart. So, as things are, with 1 day left of the week, we're net higher by 241 points, 3.7%. Last week's bullish engulfing candle played out. This week's candle is looking pretty strong. I mean, there's no sign of a turn. I would say the Bears should be rather not desperate, but the Bears should be seeking to get back under the 10 EMA, which is 67.21 right now. That's 103 points down. I mean, it's possible tomorrow. We've seen some 100-point declines recently, but again, if you did, I mean, that's the most bearish case would be we close under 67.21 tomorrow. That would make the weekly candle, somewhat spiky, but clearly we're definitely going to be settling up to some degree tomorrow. Anything else? I'm aware that Trump's supposedly got to talk tonight at 9 o'clock. I don't know what the hell that'll be. I guess it'd be something war related, or I don't know. I would be more focused on the fact that we have CPI data tomorrow, which will be hot for sure. And then the market, you got to think, yeah, you got to think. I have to think that the market's going to be more concerned about CPI than whatever the hell nonsense that Trump talks about. Look, the market's going to be reminded tomorrow morning that inflation is picking up and should be sustainably ticking upwards into and across probably the whole summer. If you assume that, if you accept that, then you have to come to the conclusion that there will be no rate cuts unless somehow the Fed can justify it on the basis of really pretty strong economic weakness. In which case, that's still bearish in itself, right? You can't have it both ways. You can't be clawing for a rate cut and then accept that the economy is doing great and everything's fine. No. So which is it? If you think that the Fed are going to cut rates still in June, then you're going to be very bearish the economy and corporate earnings. So it's almost a no-win in many ways. But anyway, see how we open tomorrow. I'm going to hope for a gap down, but that's because I'm short now, so that would make for an easy exit. But if we do open up, then I guess I'll hold across the weekend. I can stomach that for a while. So anyway, yeah, see how we go. See, I'm not going to look at overnight futures. Won't do that. But yeah, have a good evening and have a entertaining Friday. Good night.